Hello everybody, Water here. Welcome to episode 18 of my Oxygen Not Included Let's Play series with the Spaced Out DLC. In the previous episode, we started working on an additional infinite liquid storage with an integrated cooling system, but we're not entirely finished yet with setting all of that up. So let's jump back to our colony and have a look. And we're back at our infinite liquid storage. Now, as I said, there are a few more things that I need to do before I can actually use this. The first is filling in the two cooling loops. The first one is the one with the two aqua tuners and is used to cool down the liquids in this quadruple storage at the top there, and is in this pipe here. And the second is at the moment primarily used to cool down the two steam turbines and is in this liquid loop here, which will later on also be used to cool stuff at the bottom here. So the first step is getting some of the liquids in. So let me grab some pipes, and you can see already I'm getting a nice stream of polluted water through this pipe currently. So I'm just going to steal myself a bit of that and put it into this pipe here, and then later on into this pipe at the top there. And with the loops now filled, it's time to squeeze in just a tiny bit more water, 1 packet per aqua tuner to be more precise. So 1 for this one here and 2 for this one here. To get them in, I just need to disconnect and break open the loops for right now. Then I can close them up again. And now I can get rid of those pipes here. Next step is a little basin down here with a pump in the middle and a bottle emptier to the side to get specific liquids inside of this pipe here, which I need to also disconnect right here. And with this here emptying out now, I can also put in the missing bridges for those 3 filters here. I don't currently have the liquids that are required for those here, so I'm leaving them disconnected for right now. And once all of this here is built, I can start putting in the correct liquids. And the first liquid I'm going to need is ethanol. So let's set up the bottle emptier with the highest priority and enable auto bottle and wait until a dupe brings me some ethanol. And here comes Max with some ethanol. So we should now see this being moved up to our first filter. And yeah, this is now properly primed. And we should see this being moved over. And I just noticed I totally forgot those pipes here. So let's put them in and let's have them build 2. Okay, that should be pretty much all of the ethanol I have lying around in my base, I suspect. So let's switch over to liquid naphtha next. Let's keep that activated. Doesn't really matter much if it's the other liquid first, but as I said, next is liquid naphtha and then finally crude oil. Now with those 3 filters here set up for ethanol, liquid naphtha and crude oil, it's time to think about the 4th one, which will be for petroleum. Petroleum, fortunately enough, I can easily create out of crude oil using the oil refinery, which I'm just going to place, let's say, right here. And then I'm going to need some liquid reservoirs, 1, 2, and 3. Going to connect them with the outputs. The input gets connected to this one here, which I should actually turn on again. And now for the power, I am just going to connect it right here. And now I need to wait until this one here has been built, and then I can start producing a little bit of petroleum. And the reservoirs are not even all built, but we are already getting a tiny bit of petroleum in this very first reservoir here. And here you can see already the downside of the oil refinery. It needs dupe interaction and that constantly. So this is really heavy on dupe labor. So I will very quickly try to get around that with another build, but that's something for a later episode. So now we have a couple hundred or so kilos of petroleum in there. Let's speed it up a bit and now let's deconstruct that. That should keep me or give me some petroleum in a bottle. And then I can put that in here. So for now, I'm just going to make sure there is nothing put in here. And then I can start putting in those missing bridges here. And once that is done, I can start moving the petroleum from over here. So let's just wait a second. So now we have this petroleum here. And once those here are built, I can start putting the petroleum in here. And here comes Ashkan with the petroleum, which, if I speed it up again, should be put any moment now into the proper filter, which is now also set up. So now we have all of the liquids in here we are going to need, which means I can also start putting in the layers from the bottom with crude oil, then the liquid naphtha, which will take a little while since it's not flowing very easily, as you can see here, but we have again to wait until we have a full layer in here. And you can see already the problem here with the natural gas in there. So I'm going to need an airflow tile here for now, so this can flow out, and then later on I can replace this again with a granite tile. And voila, so now I can put in finally the petroleum, which should form again a layer all over. And then finally on top of that, the ethanol. So that's now done. So next step is making sure nothing is put in here again, because now we are done with the priming, so I can reconnect this pipe here. And while I'm working on that, I might as well connect this pipe down here, since we can now actually deal with the liquid naphtha in our storage system. So that's done. Next step is getting our hands on this oil right here. And there is one little issue with that oil, and that is that it's full of zombie spores. So I need a decontamination setup. And the first thing I would like for that is some more space. So I'm going to dig out this entire area here, and also while I'm already here, I might as well start digging out this frozen biome right there. And half a dozen of cycles later, we now have all of this here properly dug out. We also now have access to this neural vacillator here. So let's put Max in there and let's see which trade he can get from that. But while we're waiting on Max, let's plan out our decon setup, which I will build right here. So for that I need a 5x3 small room right here with a liquid lock to the side. This needs to be set up with a proper atmosphere of chlorine. So first I need to evacuate this with this pump here. And once this pump has done its job, I can put in with this canister emptier some chlorine. Now let's have a look at Max. Which trade does he get this time? Oh, stress minus 20% per cycle. Very, very good, especially since he will at some point get into a rocket and spend some time in space. And this will mean that his morale might be a bit lower than usual. But for now, I need to wait until I have this here set up with the proper chlorine atmosphere. Just like this here. Now, next up, I need a couple liquid reservoirs. One here, one there. Then in piping, I need the liquid pipe germ sensor. Let's put that one here. Then on top of that, I need the liquid shutoff. Those need to be connected with some automation wire. Then I need some pipes. And the first pipe will go from the output of this one here. First down, then over, and then with a bridge over like so. The input will come from the second one right there. And this one here will be the overall input that goes straight down for now, and will later on get the liquids from over here. Then the output from this one here needs to be put into this one here. I should make sure that I'm not getting anything but crude oil, but that shouldn't be much of an issue. So let's get this done. So I need to first get over here, then with a pipe right into this one there. With a ladder I need to go up there, and now I can put the pipe parallel here right down until I'm at this point. And here I can bridge this then with some bridges like so, disconnecting this in those places here so it can empty out. Then disconnect that here. And then I can go for now in parallel down here. Although I might need to want to have a bit of a distance. Yeah, that looks quite a bit better. Let's make sure those are built first, so everything is being put back into proper place. And we have something to print out, so let's have a look what we can do here. Yeah, I'll go with the spicy tofu for a pretty simple reason. I still have most of my dupes, or all of my dupes, in atmosuits, and the new dupe wouldn't be in atmosuits, which would play havoc on my entire base design right now. So, but that's something I will have to fix pretty soon. So this all needs to be built. We also need to set this here up right now when we are below 1 germ, or in other words, if there is no germs in there, then this liquid shutoff here turns on. It's already powered, that works out quite nicely. And now I need to get away in here with a pump, and the pump likely will be placed right here. I'm not getting a bit closer to this since this is under high pressure and would just destroy the walls, and I want to have some more control over this, but that should work quite nicely, right? So, and I'm not putting it down here since I want to flush out first in the polluted one, or the germy water, crude oil I mean, and then the non-germy. So this is still somewhat of a temporary setup. Anyway, I now need to get in here. So let's see, I need access from the side here, and then I would like to have, do I actually need a liquid lock here? It might be quite helpful. So let's put one right here. Let's keep that open for, or closed for now, and then I need to get in here like so. And that way I should have no issues with all of this water getting in the wrong space at the wrong time. And with the lock now in place, it's time to get actually in here. So let's dig through here. I also need to connect the pipe and also some power, which I need to get from all the way over there. And the last part is just simply digging through to the crude oil here. I'm just doing this one high to reduce the flow a bit, since otherwise this might overflow before I can put in a tile right here. And that would cause my base to be flooded with, well, zombie spores. And that's not really what I'm looking for. But anyway, let's speed this up a bit and let's have a look. Yeah, Gosman is already coming, so any moment now we should see him digging through to the oil. And here he is coming already. So let's slow this down, let's quickly stop, and let's place a tile up here with a super high priority so it's built ASAP. So Cosmo is coming and is building this in here. So even if the high pressure pushes the oil upwards, it will not flow into my base. So one more thing I need to do in here for right now is for this here to work properly, I need a bit of a reservoir in here, or some crude oil inside of this reservoir. So for now I'm going to snip off the output pipe here, and I'm just going to have to wait until I have a couple, well, 100 tons or so, or a couple 100 kilos of crude oil in there, and then I'm just going to reconnect this, and that should work very similar to what I have built a couple episodes before for the polluted water, but with just a few more, less liquid reservoirs and a bit more automation. And that should be pretty much enough. So let's see how this works. And you can see the zombie spores in here are being reduced because no new zombie spores are being added, and this is in a chlorine atmosphere, Once this is down to 0, I get the whole system opening up. And now this has more or less stabilized. So now I don't have to worry about this getting stuck. And I have my crude oil coming in and being clean of germs. Very, very nice indeed. And we should soon also start seeing a bit more of the petroleum being produced. Yeah, just like this here. Very, very nice indeed. And if I now switch into the germ overlay, you can already see why I placed the pump at the top of the reservoir and not at the bottom. Because this corner right here was germy before, but now it's completely germ free because the germy crude oil is being pumped out and flushed out with the non-germy crude oil, which pushes from the back. So if everything goes to plan, I should be able to remove all of the germs without having any of that remaining in puddles on the floor. At least that's my plan for this. Now, this can now run in the background, and I can now concentrate on an eyesore that has been in my base for over 100 cycles by now. And that is this steam chamber here. If you look in the temperature, you can see it's pretty much cooled down as far as I can do with a steam turbine. So now I need to basically flush it, and fortunately I have a decent amount of water just waiting for that. But as a preparation for that, I'm going to grab a temp shift plate and place it right here, so I can then use the water which will flow in here to decently fast cool down all of the steam here and turn it into more clean water. And the plate is now in place. While I was building that, I also cleaned up in this area down here a bit. And now it's finally time to dig in here and get some water flowing. And while I'm here, I might as well consider how I want to change the setup here at the bottom. For now, I think I'm actually going to add another temp shift plate right here. And I'm also going to dig out all of this here. It's no longer needed. Yeah, that might be a pretty decent idea. Also the slime. And you can see while all of this was happening in the background, we completely thawed in this frozen biome here. But anyway, let's have a look what we can print out. So, nope. Maybe, not really, and absolute no-go. So let's go for the hatchling eggs. Why not? Let's move them into our drowning chamber. And for some reason I have one of these lying around, so let's move that one over there. Highest priority, same here. And that should be done pretty soon, I suspect. So, this is now all being done. Yep, that's exactly what I want. And I can also get rid of this one here. That way I can get the steam flowing pretty fast, I hope. So, this is all looking decent. This should be done also pretty soon. You can already see the steam flowing down and being cooled, which should speed up quite a bit once I have my temp shift plate here in place. Yeah, now I have a vacuum right here because the steam is being cooled down almost immediately before I can reach in this area. Although, yeah, let's also get rid of this before it overheats and completely gets destroyed. And over here we have now the polluted water flowing in, cooling down the temp shift plate, which condenses all of this steam here, and in just a bit we should start seeing all of this here being turned into water, and then we can start actually getting rid of the abyssal light here. And we have a bit of a little issue here with this water being just in the way, so I think I can at least start digging out this part here at the top. Shouldn't be much of an issue. While I'm here, I might as well get rid of this part here. I can also remove the pipes. And this pipe here, which I left in case I needed it, which wasn't defect. But nevertheless, this can also go all of this is no longer needed. And that's actually a good amount of steam down here, so I might want to add... I don't need to do anything, this is already being done via this temp shift plate here. Yeah, that should be no issue at all. I can now also get rid of this one here. And I have a very big amount of water just waiting here to be used. So I will have to do something about this pretty soon. But for now, as I said, I need to wait until this steam here has been removed. And we are pretty much done with this formerly steam-filled chamber. Now it's just polluted oxygen due to the vacuum and the polluted water. So this means I can now also clean up this part here, and I also won't need this whole setup here anymore. So I can clean up all of that. I can also clean up this pipe. It's no longer needed as well. I also don't need the temp shift plate anymore. And then I can start putting in the missing ladders. Just like this here. And now, how is this looking? This is a good amount of steam. Mostly due to some still somewhat warm abyssalite around the area. So yeah, and yeah, now everything is backflowing, so I'll have to dig further down. I'll likely have to dig out this part here next, so I can actually deal with all of this water here. But as I said, I can start cleaning this up. I can also dig out this part and this part here. And also, I might as well start digging out this part here. I'm not digging out much further down for now, since I don't want those multiple tons of somewhat still warm steam to be released into my base. But as you can see, I'm already getting quite ahead with cleaning out all of this here. And there we go. So, next up, let's have a look. There is, yeah, still a good amount of steam over here. So, yeah, I'm going to dig out this part here. And I'm also going to add a temp shift plate right here. So, this should get rid of the steam pretty soon, I suspect. This one here I don't need anymore, so it can go. Similarly to all of this here. Also no longer needed. The power can go and the pipes can also go. And I definitely need to do something about the water level here. It's definitely too high. So let's dig down. So I'm just going to dig straight down. I'll dig into the frozen biome here, but if I melt that, this is not much of an issue. So not really something I have to keep in mind. Last part there. Yeah, I will also start digging out this biome here. And while I'm here, I might as well put in where is it? A fish trap somewhere around here to get my hands on this Paco here, which then can be put at the top here into this fish release, because I still need to put a Paco of any kind, so the critter fluxomatic up there. But for now, yeah, obviously now I need the ladder so I can actually get over there. But as I said, for now I need to get this steam removed and then I can get rid of those last vestiges. But I can also already start playing the digging down here. And that should do the trick. Now at the very bottom you can see already the beginnings of a couple rows of tiles. Those are here since I have those neutronium spikes all over the place, and if I want to get all of the water towards my pump, which I will move over to here, I will have to, piece by piece, start to fill the bottom with some of those tiles here. I am also, by the way, moving the pipe a bit over, so it's in line with the pipe at the top here. So once I have gotten rid of this little part here, I can just go straight up and that should look much better. So that's all done. Let's have a look over here. How are we going? Wait, let's stop. There is one thing I should potentially add. And that's a tile over here. Let's make sure this is built first. I want to push the steam out of this corner here, or otherwise it would be out of reach of the temp shift plate. So that's now done. Then I might want to put one here and another one there, since the water levels are getting lower, since I'm now digging below. And I don't want to have this steam here being released into my base. So that might be a good idea too. And nope, Gossman, you're not doing this from the bottom. Yeah, you're doing it just as I've shown you here. So this is now all being done. Oh, 18 tons of steam. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, this abyssal light here should also be done pretty soon with heat release. So yeah, we should be pretty much done. So I can dig that out too. And once this steam here has been cooled down and explodes into loads and loads of steam, or water to be more precise, I should be able to get rid of the rest here. But we have something to print out, so let's have a look. What do we have to work with? Yeah, definitely the lime. If you can get lime, get the lime. Always nice to have it, because this is usually the bottleneck when you're producing steel. And any second now we should see the transition to water. Yep. Now we have 18 tons of water in here, so I can, and I should actually get rid of those tiles here pretty fast to avoid any kind of pressure damage. I might also want to dig out all of that while I'm here. And yeah, this is also no longer needed, so let's have a look. This can go, this can go, those can go. I also need those ladders here. And then on this side I can also add a couple ladders, first on the top and then to the side. Yeah, I'll dig over there in just a moment, but those can also go. And here I'm actually going to go straight down, although completely with plastic ladders. And then similarly with the fire pole. Now all I need to do is dig out those two lanes and this part here, and I might as well add those here. Yeah, like so. Just to avoid any potential issues in the future. Yeah, let's do it like that. Yeah, that's looking good. But now I need to wait until all of this here has been dug out before I get my dupes out of the atmosuits. Or as I said, they will get stressed pretty fast. So the fish trap I placed earlier is now also set up. So any moment now we should see this parkour being actually caught. So let's speed that up a bit. And yeah, now it's being lured in, getting caught, and in just a few moments dupe should come by, collect it. Yes, Lindsay just did, and now I can get rid of the fish trap again. The digging itself is also advancing quite nicely, so that's good. And yeah, Lindsay is coming up to our Fluxomatic, and in a few moments I should see the corresponding message with the Fluxomatic. And I can also now finally get rid of the fish release. It's no longer needed. And finally, here we go. This absolutely took ages. But sometimes you're just a bit unlucky when it comes to the pathfinding of those. So now let's get rid of that one. We don't need it anymore. The species was scanned, and yeah, this is the parkour's more or less done. So this one is also getting removed. So, and now I need to wait until all of this here has been dug out and built up. I just noticed that I have my two pumps in different liquids, which means that with the setup I have here, I get an alternating current of, well, clean water and polluted water in this case, through this pipe here, which is very nice because now I can actually increase this here to one full pipe worth. So I can basically double the speed of this here without completely blocking my polluted water, which is coming through those pipes here. And why is this pipe empty? Oh, because the polluted water vent is dormant. Okay, yeah, why not? But as I said, with this alternating setup, I can now go full tilt actually. Very, very nice. And we are getting ahead quite a bit already. And what's this over here? That is the new story trait that... oh, that's also quite useful over there. Okay, that's very good. This is the new story trait I haven't really used yet, or have not done anything yet. So, laboratory, dusty machinery, both. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, I'll have to have a look at this in more detail a bit later. So now that I see more, I can also start planning out a bit more digging over here. And while I'm at it, I might as well start digging out this corner here too. And with my dupes being busy in digging, I decided to have a little look over here and notice that the pump is now running dry, but there are still just a tiny amount of germs left over. So I'll have to do a little bit about that. But first, I'm going to turn this here into a double liquid lock. So I can have some vacuum in here to insulate this rather hot area here to my still somewhat cool base. And here we go. So now I can remove this tile here and start digging over in this area here. And I hope that just this amount of crude oil here should be enough to flush out the last few germs to be pumped out. And here comes Grossman to get this done. So let's speed this up a tiny bit. And yeah, now Grossman will walk through some zombie germs, so it's a good thing that he's in an episode. And those zombie germs, so now as you can see, have been flushed out without any issue. So let's have a look. They should... let's disconnect this here for a moment, because I have to wait until I have a bit of a reserve in here so I can actually get the chlorine to work. And now we have nice and clean crude oil coming through here. Next step is moving the pump down here so I can get the rest of this crude oil out. So I'm just going to go straight down. Same with the pipe. And then I'm just going for now to use a ladder like so. And yeah, let's just dig all of this out. This can go, and all of this here should be done with highest priority. And there we go, everything is now cleaned out and we have access to all of the crude oil in this chamber here. Very nice indeed. Now up here, the petroleum is already filled up, so let's add another reservoir and let's actually disconnect those two here, since we will need the content of those pretty soon in one of the next episodes. So that's now done as well. Now let's have a look how is the digging advancing. Yeah, we are almost done with the digging I planned out. I might want to add a few missing letters though. Okay, that is also looking very good. The raised floor is already in, so we are almost done with this part here. So I think this is actually a good point to stop with this episode here. We managed quite a lot, from finally properly setting up this quadruple storage here with the cooling system, getting our hands on lots and lots of crude oil without infecting our dupes with zombie spores, and finally getting rid of this eyesore of a steam chamber around this tamer, and digging quite a lot down here to get space for this rather big water reservoir here. And that brings me to the actual end of this episode here. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share and comment if you did so. It really helps with the algorithm. Independent of that, I wish you a nice day and well, see ya.